I know by this point everybody's already put out their videos and whatnot on the firing of Derek Lalonde and the hiring of Todd McLellan. I still wanted to give my 2 cents here, so that's what I'm going to do. First, we're going to address Derek Lalonde. I personally, when it comes to him as a person, I hate to see it. Derek Lalonde seems like a smart dude, seems like a nice dude, but this season, the hockey that the Red Wings have been playing has just been uninspired. It's been boring, it's been lackluster. Any type of derogatory word or term you want to use to describe hockey, that's what it's been. And it's not necessarily that we've only been losing. That is a big part of it, but it's the ways that we've lost and how we play when we lose and the lack of shots on goal and the terrible defense. I mean, Cam Talbot has been the only thing stopping pucks from going into the net, along with our first line of defensemen in Moritz Seider and Simon Edvinsson. Past that, it's just been a crapshoot, and Derek Lalonde and the rest of his coaching staff hasn't really seemed to do very much. So I hate to see it for Derek Lalonde. I hope he gets another opportunity to be a head coach somewhere else. I do think he'll get picked up as an assistant somewhere else, but this team at this moment is just not the right place for him to be, so it's a move that had to be made. Now, I need to be fact-checked on this, but if my memory serves me correctly, and if what I've read serves me correctly, this is the first time in the near 100 years of existence of the Detroit Red Wings that a head coach has been fired in the middle of a season. Do I think Derek Lalonde is such a bad coach that he deserves that honor? Air quotes around it? No, I don't think he was that bad of a head coach. I just think this year he lost the locker room. I mean, I can't say for certain, I'm not in there, but the way they played, it just seemed like he kind of lost it with those guys, and it just didn't seem like the right fit, so it had to happen. Now, Todd McLellan. There are parts of this hiring that I like and parts that I don't like. Now, obviously, when you fire someone in the middle of the season, the coaches that are available, there's going to be a catch. Even if a guy has some good qualities, there's going to be a catch somewhere because there's a reason that we're in December and he doesn't have a job. Whether that's he's retired and he's been out of the game for a few years, or he has a character flaw of some kind, or it's an interim head coach who has never been a head coach before or has been an unsuccessful head coach. But this hiring is possibly one of the better situations for the Red Wings to have. Todd McLellan is a guy with a winning record as a head coach. He has coached teams to be successful in the postseason. He is very much a stern, blunt, don't necessarily want to say no nonsense, but kind of that feel. He's a stricter head coach. I'm not saying like he's a dictator, but he can be stern towards his players. He's not afraid to bench guys. He's not afraid to call star players out in press conferences. He's not shy about it. And I think that that is good. I personally think that that's what this team needs. Can it rub some players the wrong way, especially younger guys who are still trying to solidify a spot for themselves? Yeah, I mean, when you look at a Lucas Raymond, look at a Moritz Seider, how are those guys going to take the first time that Todd McLellan goes out into the media and says, hey, Lucas Raymond, you didn't play very good? And he says that in front of everybody. I'm not sure how he's going to handle it. I hope he handles it the right way. I don't think it's going to happen. Lucas Raymond has not been a problem this year. Neither has Moritz Seider or even Marco Kasper, so I hope it doesn't happen to them. I don't think it's going to happen to them, but let's just say he has an off night or he has a slump. What happens if Todd McLellan goes out there and calls him out? I think Lucas Raymond's a tough dude. He has thick skin. I hope he'll handle it the right way, but he's still young. He's very emotional. It is possible that if a guy like Todd McLellan comes in, it could rub some guys the wrong way, even the veterans, even the older guys. I mean, Ben Sherratt, Jeff Petrie, what is Todd McLellan going to think about those dudes when they go out there on the ice? So I'm interested to see how the locker room takes this, because I think a lot of those guys did like Derek Lalonde. Todd McLellan is a good head coach. He's not necessarily going to take this team to a Stanley Cup. Like, I'm not saying, oh my goodness, he's the savior. He's going to transform us into this contender. I'm saying he probably gives us a better shot to compete for a playoff spot, which at this point is what we are trying to do. He's a dude that can take less and he can make it more, especially with young, moldable guys. I think that he can elevate their play. The catch is he could come in and some guys could not like his style. Some guys could not like his sternness. Some guys could get their feelings hurt, and it could bruise their ego. It could hurt their confidence, and that's the type of thing where it does affect how they play. I mean, hockey, just like every sport, is a very emotional game. If you don't feel confident, if you don't feel good, you're not going to be playing as good as you normally are, or as good as you could be playing. So it's all about how these guys are going to take this change in this new style, because it is not necessarily what Derek Lalonde. I mean, I'm not there for practice, but judging off of how he is on the bench, how he is in press conferences, he can be a fired up dude. Derek Lalonde could be a very fired up dude. He would be very aggressive, but he was not the strictest guy in the world. Whereas Todd McLellan, he's strict, like I've said. So that's the big thing on how these guys are going to handle this. That's going to dictate how good we are. Because if they don't want to play for him, they don't want to play hard for him, we're in the same spot that we were before. But again, personally, I think it's a good move. I'm interested to see how it pans out. I think he can take these guys and elevate their level of play, because there is talent here. But I mean, at the end of the day, our defense is still what it is. We still have guys that haven't played up to the level that they need to play. Can he help break that slump? Can he help some of our defensemen? I don't even know if I want to say that. Just to finish this off, again, I don't think that this turns us into a Stanley Cup contender. I don't necessarily think Todd McLellan's going to bring us to the promised land or anything, but he has a good track record for the most part. He was here in Detroit in 2008 when we won the Stanley Cup. He's familiar with the city. He's familiar with the organization. He seems like a solid dude. It could go sideways very fast. I'm interested to see how this gets handled and how these guys respond and how Friday night goes. It's our next game is tomorrow. So this could go either really well or it could go really, really bad. Let's hope it doesn't go really bad. I mean, it can't be much worse than what we've already watched. So as Red Wings fans, we just gotta hope that Todd McLellan comes in and does something. Just inspires these guys a little bit. I'm tired of watching stale, uninspired hockey. It is getting boring. So let's hope he brings some more fire to these guys. Let's hope that he brings some more energy. I can only speculate so much. You can only speculate so much. We're gonna find out. Anyways, I'm Limitless Pulse. I'll see y'all next time.
But you get the mix right, nigga, put it in the blender. Hell yeah, I'm Wingstop. Jump on the chicken tender. It's like the beef from energy and water like timber. Hey, turning, looking like dinner. It's like I got the bag, boy or girl.